Hello everyone, I'm Elijah Crehan.
And I'm John Schwartz.
Today we're going to be sharing some relics that we found on my property in Ridgefield, Main Street.
And I have to say that I am a resident of Ridgefield, Connecticut, and it's an amazing place. So we have so much here to offer. And one thing we've been doing is relic hunting. And I want to specifically say we relic hunt on only properties that we are given permission to do so. So I strongly encourage you, relic hunters out there or aspiring hunters, to make sure you always get a permission from a property owner. So being a relic hunter, we specifically love to dig dirt and literally touch history. And that's what relic hunting allows you to do, is really touch history. And Ridgefield is filled with history, and everything we extract from the ground here in Ridgefield has its own story. And many questions go through our minds when we take things out of the ground, when we take objects out of the ground. And some of the questions are, what the heck is this? And who dropped it? Why did they drop it? And what does this object actually represent? There are so many stories behind every object we find, and we just have to speculate sometimes about the real story behind those objects.
Today we would like to scrape the surface and tell you about a few finds that we've discovered on Lot 19. The house on Lot 19 was built by Joseph Keeler in 1713. It has had countless owners, and many important figures have lived there, both for Ridgefield and Connecticut history.
Absolutely, Elijah. And you know, Joseph Keeler, he was a carpenter in town who not only built his own house, but he built many of the original houses and structures on Main Street. He was also the son of Samuel Keeler, a founding settler of Ridgefield. And his father-in-law and Matthew St. John, Amateus Ascension, purchased the town of Ridgefield from the Ramapo tribe, and specifically Chief Petuna. I'm sure some of these names ring a bell to a lot of people out there. Joseph was also Timothy Keeler's uncle, who of course owned the Keeler Tavern.
Okay, so let's get back to discussing some of the finds at the Joseph Keeler home site. First of all, not all of these finds are what most would consider super interesting. But because of our love of Ridgefield history, we get enjoyment out of digging colonial square nails to rusty farm equipment, silver coins, and even the occasional colonial shoe buckle.
Absolutely, Elijah. And I have to say that when I detect with Elijah, I believe he has some of the most amazing finds. I find a lot of iron, he finds a lot of coins. So, and a lot of the things that he does find predate the town of Ridgefield. So, Elijah, why don't you share some of your great finds with us?
Love to. So, let me just pull up the first thing I plan on sharing. Just waiting for it to load. Okay. So the first coin I'm going to share with you guys is a 1699 William III halfpenny. Now, this coin is special for a few reasons. It predates Ridgefield up to 10 years, which is quite interesting to have a coin from the 17th century. It also could have been dropped by Joseph Keeler himself while he was surveying the town. You can never, truly know the history behind it, but to have something this old dug out of the ground is quite amazing. Now you can see in this example that I dug back in October, you have William III facing right, and then on the back you have a Britannia, which is the trademark symbol of British coins. I'll show a non-dug example here. Now you can see this is in much better shape, but the ground can be pretty cruel to coins. Now I've found 3 of these, believe it or not, and they're all progressively in worse condition as I found them, which is kind of funny, but you can make them out if you look closely. You never know what the ground is going to give, especially when the coin is made of bronze. So the next find that I'd like to discuss is a Jew's harp. Now this is a musical instrument that has literally been used for thousands of years. Now, this example here is from the early 1700s to the late 1700s, but it could be much older. There's no real way of knowing. This instrument was commonly used among civilians and even soldiers during the Revolutionary War. It was found near the base of a massive maple tree that was cut down some 30 years ago that really lets your imagination wonder who might have been sitting under there with this instrument. Now, it is almost complete, but you can see on the non-dug example on the right, it is missing the iron reed, which is what you would actually make the noise with while this was sitting in your mouth. And oftentimes, this did contribute to broken teeth back in the 1700s.
That's what's so great about metal detecting and relic hunting. I never knew about a Jew's harp until Elijah pulled this one up out of the ground. So again, everything tells a story and also causes us to do a lot more research. And so it's not like going into a history class and opening a textbook. We're learning as we go, and it's really a great deal of fun. So thank you, Elijah, for sharing these incredible pieces of Ridgefield's history. And remember, folks, you know, it's not about the monetary value of these discoveries, but rather the thrill of the hunt and the history and the story behind these objects.
Well, thank you to the Historical Society and everyone involved for giving us this opportunity to share some of our finds from this historic property. We hope to share more in the future. There are literally filing cabinets and coin books full of amazing finds. So thank you, and I hope everyone enjoyed.